Okay.
Cut. So, hey everybody. Today I have Morgan over at my house, and we're going to be talking about our position on our platforms and kind of just like how we created a space on the internet just for us. Like, I was thinking about like Morgan's journey and kind of like almost fitting myself into it, and I got really excited about the idea of origins and like origin stories, and how you do have a unique origin story. And we were kind of like prepping beforehand, and I was like, oh, you know, I don't have 1 million subscribers, so who cares about our origin story? But like,
I was like, people care.
Yeah,
people do. I mean, some people care, right? If you're watching this, maybe you care.
So I wanted to kind of have an open discussion, and invited Morgan over so we could have an open discussion about how we came onto the internet and kind of created a place where people could talk about body modification and tattoos and kind of share their story. So I want to jump into it and just talk to you openly about like your experience being online and creating a YouTube channel and creating a place where you could share your story.
Yeah. So, do you want me to start from the beginning?
Well, let me know what the process was the first time, like, you turned on the camera and, like, hit record.
Well, the first time I made a YouTube video, it wasn't even a camera. It was, like, I was using my MacBook Pro. And I made a video because I was on Tumblr, and people kept asking me, like, the same question over and over and over. And I was like, I don't want to keep answering the question, like, why I took my dermals out. I'm like, I don't want to keep answering the same question, because I was literally, like, 19, and I had my Jersey attitude. I was like, I'm just going to make a video. That way when people ask me, I can just be like, look at my video. And
we don't pump.
Yeah, we don't pump our own gas. We don't answer the same question 100 times. I just had such, like, an attitude as a kid. But, I'm glad I did. Like, thank you, Jersey, you know? So, yeah, I just uploaded a video, and for whatever reason, like, people were commenting on it, being like, let's see more. And then I kept making more, like, webcam videos, and that's when I was like, I guess I need to get a camera.
So, at this point, would you say that you were already, like, comfortable being online?
I was comfortable being online.
Okay.
Yeah, I was super comfortable being online, because I came from MySpace.
So, I was gonna say, like, what took you from, like, breaking the ice into being online and having an online presence to Tumblr to YouTube?
Yeah. It was, like, actually kind of a weird transition, I guess, because MySpace came about, like, when I was a young teenager, and that was, like, the first, like, actually, I wasn't even a teenager yet. I was younger than that, and it was brand new. Like, social media was not a thing. This was, like, the first big thing, and that's, like, when I took my first selfie, you know what I mean? And I'm, like, literally 11, being, like, and taking a picture and, like, putting it online, and my mom had to, like, check and, like, make sure my MySpace pictures were appropriate. So
did something inspire you to do that? Like, were your friends doing it, or did you log on and, like, feel inspired by someone?
No, my friends did it, and I just wanted to, like, fit in, like, really bad. But then once I, like, kind of evolved as a person, it all changed, and I became, like, a MySpace scene queen, and started feeling, like, super confident in myself. So that's when, like, the real selfies came in, and I would, like, edit my pictures all crazy, and I started getting a bunch of followers on MySpace.
Were you following trends on MySpace? And it's hard to separate, in my opinion, like, YouTube trends, like, slime and all that stuff. Like, the trends of MySpace were much more mild and much more subtle, but do you feel like you were influenced at any point by those?
Kind of. I would look at people that had a lot, like, going on in their life, like, people that were older than me and that were modeling and stuff like that. I always looked up to, like, other alternative models. So I think I kind of followed, like, some of the trends, but I was so young. I was just like, I'm kind of absorbing everything from everyone. Yeah. You know? I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing.
No.
I was like, my mom is number 1 on my top 8, and I'm, like, putting up these pictures, being, like, a scene queen. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But then MySpace died, and I kind of evolved onto, like, being a Tumblr girl.
I mean, my story is exactly the same.
Really? Yeah.
My story is exactly the same. My very first YouTube video was posted because I was tired of answering the same Tumblr questions. When you said that, it was unbelievable. Yeah. Because, like, I feel like you and I, like, followed parallels, but, you know, I'll meet people in life who I remember from MySpace, and I never remembered you.
Yeah. Because I wasn't, like, famous. I wasn't
Mhm.
famous on MySpace. I was, like, the most famous person in my area.
Yeah.
So people were like, oh.
I feel like, so my MySpace, it was the same thing, like, my friends were doing it, and I had a digital camera,
Yeah.
so it wasn't, like, I could post right away. Like, it wasn't, like, on MySpace, sometimes you needed your friend to take a picture, so your profile picture was just all you had.
Yeah.
But
I remember that.
Mine was definitely, like, very curated. Like, I had a digital camera, so I was able to, like, make it exactly how I wanted. And I remember I would scan Polaroids, and I would put Polaroids as my picture.
Are you serious?
I cared about MySpace.
That's, like, so edgy, though. Like, that's so cool.
I blogged every day, too. MySpace had a blog feature.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I would write in that bitch.
I posted bulletins every day.
Oh,
every
a
single
bulletin.
day. I loved them.
Did you start to become interested in modifying, like, your look at this time, or is this when you began?
I started, like, I became interested in it when I was, like, 12. So, like, during the MySpace era, but I was a kid and I wasn't allowed to do anything. Like, my parents were like, you can't dye your hair, you can't get piercings. But it started, like, during the MySpace era for sure, because that's also when I started discovering different kinds of music. You know, I was like, MySpace was big for music. A lot of people don't know this. Like, MySpace music was, like, a huge thing. Like, people loved music on MySpace, and I found all those, like, emo bands. I was like, oh my god, My Chemical Romance. Like,
you could usually download from MySpace too. So they would give you, like, 4 free downloads.
yes. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
So your iPod would just be, like, 4 songs.
Like, clusters of 4, and if you really liked them, then I'd like, all right, I'll buy the album. And also, like, I wasn't introduced to people looking different, like, in my town. Like, that wasn't a thing. Like, I wasn't. So when when you got the internet, you're like, holy shit, look at these cool people. They look cool. Like,
Yeah.
like, this is a thing, you know? Like, I always liked tattoos and knew I kind of, like, wanted them, but I didn't realize that it was, like, such a tangible, like, possibility until I saw so many other people doing it. So that's
And
when I got
it was
interested.
the first time that you could interact with somebody like that. Like, I had the opportunity, the first time I experienced, like, a modified person, there was a bagel shop that, like, if we had a half day from school, everyone would go. That was, like, a thing.
The spot.
The half day spot.
Yeah.
And the server had stretched earlobes. And I remember I just, like, it was my very first experience with that. And I went
gave
home.
You the chills. You were like, I can't stop thinking about this.
I was like, this is crazy. And he was cool.
Yeah.
I went home and talked to my mom about it, and she was like, get that idea out of your head. And it was the first time I could go online and, like, immerse myself in it.
Yes. And there you found there were so many other people that were doing it and interested in it.
And you could bridge the gap and physically, like, talk, not physically, but you could message them.
You can communicate, yeah.
And it was the very first time, because I was intimidated to talk to the guy from Bagel Barrel. And he was 21. He didn't want to talk to me. He's probably like, oh, these kids, it's a half day.
Yeah, I know. Poor kid. He's like, I hope they don't ask me about my ears. And we're all like,
Please. I have a cute is what we aim for track jacket on. It's all I asked for my birthday. So, MySpace was the first time that you could message somebody who looked a certain way and communicate with them, and they could give you feedback.
Yeah, no matter where they were in the world.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because me growing up, like, I don't know about you, but I only got feedback from the people around me, and it was never positive feedback. Like, I remember a whole group of people just, like, completely stopped talking to me when I started dressing differently, because they were like, you're a goth, like, you're an emo, and they would, like, comment on my MySpace pictures, like, making fun of me and stuff, and it was just, like, the only feedback I'd ever gotten about wanting to be different was negative. So then when I got on social media, I was like, there are others, like, I know I'm not weird now. I mean, I'm a little weird, but, you know.
It was a similar experience for me. In middle school and high school, we were definitely outcasted, and I went to a high school in the suburbs, and I feel like the demographic there was more wealthy. Yeah. So in my school, the divide was, if you were alternative, it was because you were, like, lower middle class.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And if you were, like, upper middle class or upper class, you weren't into an alternative culture. You were into, like clubs, after school, you know, you didn't work, your parents kind of, like, you just, like, you weren't into alternative culture, so those kids weren't going to shows, like, I think the first concert a bunch of those kids went to was, like, Black Eyed Peas, and, like, some parents took them, but, like, at this point, we were sneaking on the train, we were going to shows, and it was just, like, looked down upon just because of the separation of, like, classes in my school.
Yeah.
But it was being a part of that class that allowed me to, like, experiment with my looks and things like that, and almost, like, without any repercussions, because I could not be popular if I wanted to, just in the high school I went to, because if you didn't have a car, you weren't popular. So, like, if you didn't have Ugg boots, you weren't popular. So there was no way for anyone to...
You can't bridge that gap.
You can't.
Yeah.
So going online and having social media, all of a sudden, you're not like a like Pigpen from the Peanuts. You're like, you're actually cool.
Yeah, you're not outcasted anymore. Like, I grew up in the same type of area. It was just, like, a very wealthy area. Like, kids got, like, you know, really high-end cars on their 16th birthday. They'd crash them. Their parents would buy them a new one.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like that. And my family just didn't raise me that way. Like, but whatever. When I wanted to be different, like, it was just shunned because it was just something that was so, like, just so unheard of for them. Like, they'd never just seen anything outside of their, like, little bubble.
Yeah.
So it outcasted me as well.
I think MySpace was the first open communication and access I had with body modification e-zine.
Yes, BME. Oh yeah.
So BME for me, so Body Modification Encyclopedia was almost like an open forum where you could search and just see pictures. And there was some information, but it was, like, mostly just pictures.
Yeah, like, examples, like...
And you could search by key phrase, but mostly it was organized in a, like, body modification index. So if you wanted to stretch your earlobes, you would go on there and see what people look like stretching their earlobes. And you could see them from all over the country and all over the world. And... the platform was, like, a very beta MySpace. Like, it was never super, like, user-friendly.
Yeah.
And on there, it was my first experience, like, obtaining the knowledge that was, like, the open door. That was, like, oh, you want to stretch your ears? Like, here's
info.
Yeah. None of these kids go to your school, but this is what they look like.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I was, like, and it also introduced me to just, like just other possibilities, things that I didn't even know existed. And I was like, oh my god, there's other people that, like, want to be different.
Like, becoming educated on that was my top interest. Like, learning every piercing of the ear and, like, its name, not even because I wanted them.
Yeah,
it was just my interest.
Yeah, I bought the piercing Bible. I read the whole thing front to back, like, 6 times. Like, yeah, it was an interest. And people didn't understand, like, why I'd be interested in something like that.
It was cool. I feel like back then, the internet was almost like a hub that had hallways. And you would have to walk down one hallway. You couldn't... It wasn't as, like, as open as it is now.
Right.
So I feel like the interest you took you down a certain path.
Yeah, for sure.
So I almost felt, like, protected in that community, but I didn't look into, like, much else.
Right, yeah.
Do you have a similar experience?
Yeah, me either. It was just that. I just kind of went
Yeah.
down that hallway, like you said. Yeah.
When BME Zine kind of came to an end, it was, and this might just be my experience, it was, like, up to me to continue.
Educating. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, we can't let this die.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta keep this movement alive. You know what I mean? And I was passionate about it. So I was like, I gotta share this with the world.
Being on BME Zine taught me how to, like, photograph what I was doing and then post it, and it got me, like, in that routine. So when I switched to Tumblr, it was the same thing. Like, I just stretched my philtrum, here's the pic.
Yep.
And then you would hashtag it, and then that became... Do you feel like you had a similar transition?
I think mine was, like, somewhat different because I came from, like, the modeling world, like, as I modeled as a kid. So when I kind of got back on Tumblr and stuff, I was kind of more just taking pictures of myself and trying to be artsy and, like, hot.
Cool.
Like, I wanted to be a Tumblr
Yeah.
girl. You know what I mean? I was like, this is the first time in my life, like, people are really accepting me and, like, thinking that I'm attractive and not weird.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna capitalize on this shit right now. And if once I start building a following, then I'm gonna use it for something
I love
better than just my appearance, you know? Tumblr, like, was pretty much the social media that made, like, really, like, solidified me being, like...
Online?
Yeah, like, I'm like, this is it. Like, this is cool. Like, this is something that, like, people followed me. I was like, I didn't understand. Like, I'm used to people just being like...
I can't even explain how it happened, but the following started on Tumblr, and it was, like, bare bones organic. It was, like, I was doing my own thing, and then people started to tune in.
Yeah, that's like exactly what it was. Because I would post about like my body mods all the time too. I'd like blog about it. 'Cause that's what it was. It wasn't just pictures, but yeah, people. I think what mine more was is like people became interested in me and they were really curious, and I wanted to help people understand.
Yeah,
and I wanted to show people like that it's okay to want to be different. So I think that's like really what made me start.
Yeah.
Speaking about this stuff.
When I would take my like physical presence offline and like be somewhere, like if I were to go on the bus or if I would like take a day trip somewhere, I had a lot of confidence in my physical appearance because the community that I had on Tumblr was really, really supportive. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not saying I didn't get like terrible anonymous messages,
yeah,
but I felt confident in myself and was able to carry that.
Yeah.
But at the time, I still felt like that hallway analogy. Like, I still feel like I was, like, in my lane on Tumblr, and it was kind of like that body mod.
Yeah.
And I think around this time, I started getting tattooed.
Yeah, I started getting tattooed while I was on Tumblr also. I remember, because I remember, like, the specific webcam photo I took. You know, I put in, like, my nicest plugs. I was like, this is gonna be it. And the photo ended up blowing up. It was on, like the popular, like, blogs.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, I was like, and it was a shitty webcam photo. But I was just like...
Well, that was the quality standard back then.
I know, it's like potato. It looks like it was taken on a potato. Absolutely, we love it. And people were so curious. It was just very strange for me for people to be interested in my interests. And I was like, I need to do this more.
I think that it created like a lot of fuel for me to...
Oh, okay. What does that mean?
Memory card full. Alright, there's probably just some flops on there I need to delete. Are you alright?
Do you need me to move my stuff?
No, I actually got it right.
Okay.
What?
The Bronco's been busted.
So he got it?
Yeah.
That's actually awesome. Must be nice to have someone that knows what they're doing around.
I'm sure he wished that too. I feel like Tumblr really started to like fuel my fire for getting tattooed.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't like, obviously it was a decision I made, but I felt very confident in my decision. And I tried to almost channel that feeling I used to have into now, because now I don't get tattooed very easily anymore. I'm not swayed very easily. I'm not convinced.
I don't want to unless it's like something that pops in my head. I'm like, I need it.
That's how I feel too. Back then, I felt like a lot of like fire for what I was doing, and I felt really supported in my decisions, but also like eager to share what I was doing.
Yeah, me too. I would always post a picture when I got a new tattoo.
Yeah.
I wanted people to see it, and now I'm like, yeah, I mean, if I get a picture, I guess I'll post it. You know what I mean? But I just be like, look at it. I'm so excited.
I feel like, so you were on Tumblr and people were asking you questions, so that's when you turned on the camera.
Yeah.
Was that the first time, like, you were on video?
I think so. I mean, yeah, for the most part, like obviously, I did modeling stuff, but it wasn't video.
Yeah.
I was, like, always very shy and very quiet. Mm-hmm. I didn't come out of my shell until the internet happened. So, yeah, it was my first time being on video, but I didn't really think anything of it. Like, it was pretty natural for me. Like, I wasn't nervous.
And at this time, like, were there other video people that you were watching, or you were just like, I'm gonna do this?
Yeah, no, I didn't understand the concept of being a YouTuber yet, at all. Like, I did not even know that was a thing. Like, I didn't know how to even subscribe to somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, it was literally just, like, laptop to upload. Like, there was no editing. Like, yeah, so I wasn't in the community at all at that point. I was just like, I'm just gonna put these videos up there and really just link them on Tumblr.
Yeah,
that's what I was doing.
I have the same exact origin
really?
story. My first videos aren't edited. There's like copyrighted music in the background that I'm literally playing from my iPhone.
Same.
Because I'm like, how do people do this?
The beach and boardwalk and Applebee's for half off apps.
Scalpeled. Well, corrected.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
And I would just put them on my Tumblr and I didn't know there was a community on YouTube. I didn't know people could comment on your YouTube videos. It was really just like to supplement my Tumblr content.
Right.
But I didn't follow any YouTubers, and I didn't follow anyone on Tumblr who was making video.
Me either.
I was just excited to do it.
Yeah, me too.
My first video I ever posted on YouTube was about my scarification.
Okay.
and the like first 5 days that
I remember I've seen all of those videos because I got scarification and you were the literal only other person that had it on YouTube. Like literally.
It was so exciting.
I was like, I need to see her experience right now. And then of course like yours went like way differently than mine. But I was like, whoa, like there are others.
Someone.
Yeah, someone. Finally. I remember watching all of those.
John? Sorry, John walked in. Yeah, the first video I made, like, I didn't know there was a community, so I wasn't, like, purposefully, like, breaking any ground.
Yeah,
Like,
me either.
I wasn't trying to be, like, alternative on YouTube, and I also didn't consume any YouTube content. Like, I didn't have any favorite YouTubers. I didn't know about the YouTubers who were on the platform at the time, like, doing things for YouTube. I wasn't making money off of YouTube. Like, I had no idea.
Not me either.
My first video, I was posting those videos onto YouTube just because, like, I was filming them on my iPod Touch, and there just wasn't room on my iPod Touch to store the video, and I was just, like, putting it on YouTube and deleting it, like, off of my iPod Touch and just, like, going to the next one.
And you needed, like, we needed somewhere to host the video. Like, there weren't that many platforms to, like, actually, like, host a video on the internet. YouTube was it.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of evolved. It evolved so, actually really quick. Like, in the beginning, when I was just, like, uploading stupid videos with my friends. I was like, how can I find a link to this? And
Yeah.
that was it.
I don't know how to, like, bring comparisons over, but I feel like the steam and the positivity I got from Tumblr also, like, still existed.
Yeah.
It was still, like, in that space.
Yeah, they kind of moved over a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the evolution of social media. Like, it literally went from MySpace to Tumblr to like, YouTube. That's really what happened. And Instagram, too.
So when it started to evolve, do you feel like you created a space for yourself?
Yeah.
You created a space where, you know, the things you were talking about people were interested in.
Yeah.
So you continued it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was like, wow, like, people started requesting more and more things. Because it was before, like, you had, like, I didn't sit down and come up with, like, a video to make. They were all things that people were asking me. Because they were interested. And when people were interested in me, it made me really excited. You know what I mean? And it made me want to think of other things to do.
Yeah. When was the first time you, like, edited a video?
Oh,
Did you have to teach yourself, like, editing?
I had to teach myself editing, yeah, completely. I had a, I guess it was, like, Windows Movie Maker.
Ooh.
That's what it was. Yeah, Windows Movie Maker. And then I ended up using iMovie, and now I have Final Cut. But even now, like, because I've completely taught myself how to edit, like, I'm nowhere near, like, there's so much stuff you can do with editing that I have no idea how to do still.
Well, you taught yourself editing to accommodate just, like, your hobby.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to make my videos just nicer for people to watch because they were already enjoying them so much, and I knew that it could be better. So I was like, I want to make them the best I can. So I taught myself how to edit.
There are people just joining in today who maybe weren't on MySpace and weren't on Tumblr, so they're not as, like, familiar with being online and sharing their life. But for us, it is very second nature at this point because we did grow up with the interest and the familiarity of sharing that. Like, before...
I never thought twice about it.
No.
I was never like, should I put this on the internet? Like, it wasn't even a thought. I was like, I'm putting this on the internet.
I was eager to.
Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. Like, I never thought twice about it.
Yeah, it's only, you know, in the last few years that I've thought twice or had doubt or wondered how something would perform.
Yeah.
It was a lot more organic when I did feel like it was my only outlet.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I created a space for myself because there wasn't another traditional space for the content I liked or even the content I fit into or enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I felt like there wasn't, like, a TV show I could relate to or be a part of, or even in press. I felt like even tattoo magazines have changed a lot since when I was younger. Like, even in MySpace time, like, we would take the bus to Barnes & Noble and, like, sit in their magazine section and read all the tattoo magazines because before Instagram,
that's where it was at.
That was the only place you could consume tattoos.
Yeah.
Especially, like, at that volume.
Yeah, and learn about, like, the art of tattooing.
Yeah.
You know? It was something... It just made it so tangible. It was right there, but it was the only place you could look up that information.
It was. And now with Instagram, tattoos are just posted and you can scroll through them and consume them at, like, a very rapid rate. You don't have to wait every month for a new tattoo magazine or take the bus to Barnes & Nobles or anything like that. Like, it's just right there. Mm-hmm. I feel like the content I always wanted to consume and, like, the content I don't necessarily have access to or that doesn't exist, I was able to supplement on my own channel.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was like, I want to put out videos that I would want to see.
Yeah.
Like, things that I can't find information on or something that I would want help with or I would want to learn about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to post.
I definitely agree. I feel like now, like, I understand that print has to be sensationalized now because it has to compete with Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's no longer content that I put much value in.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Even with modeling, like, I used to super want to be in every single magazine possible, and I was in a bunch of them, and I was on some covers and, like, you know, little things here and there, but now it's just been so, like, A, it's like it got so heavily saturated, but B, Instagram took over. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you don't even want to be, like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't even bother to try and be a part of that as much anymore, just because it's like...
Well, now you have, and I might be wrong, I don't want to speak for you, but you have every opportunity now to create the content you wanted to see.
Exactly. I'm the one creating it now. Like, I have full creative control. That's what's really the best part. And I don't have to try and, like, put myself into something, just have to change, like, I don't want to have to change myself.
You don't have to wait to be, like, picked up. Like,
right.
You don't have to submit your story to somebody. Right. You don't have to apply to True Life.
Yeah. True Life. Me. That's it. Just True Life.
Before I ever had a Tumblr, during the, like, MySpace transition, I applied to be on True Life.
No, you didn't.
And I got a call back.
My friend was on it, but she would kill me if I talked about it, but she was on it, and it was a mess.
It's kind of just like, thank God for YouTube, because I was like, what is this calling inside of me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why do I want to share so badly that I would be on True Life? Yeah. I was like, something's different about me.
Yeah, no, you're right. I definitely felt that way to an extent too. Like, I really wanted to do something just a little bigger. Hi, beautiful.
Definitely. So I got the call back from True Life, and I had like a 2-part interview, and then I backed down. Mm-hmm. But when you become a part of that stuff, like, reality TV is obviously scripted or guided.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's not authentic enough.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to have to play by anyone else's rules. Like, I want to just be able to talk about my experiences and have people relate to it. That's really it, without having to have anyone telling me what is okay to share and what's not, you know?
I feel like YouTube has granted us, like, complete access to be able to share our story.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is.
I'll get down on YouTube just because, like, my scarification videos are demonetized and they're sensitive content.
Same.
And, like, a lot of the things that we used to be able to share are at least sensitive content, but they're still available.
They're available, and that's really what's important. I mean, it's sad that, like, a lot of my videos also got demonetized, and it sucks just because, like, you know, we put effort into these things and we're proud of them, but at least they're still there. At least people can still watch.
I definitely agree. Like, in the beginning, I was down on it, but I am happy that, like, it's not filtered through someone else.
Exactly. Like, at least it's still allowed to be there. I hope it stays that way.
Like, you have complete creative control over your Instagram, and sometimes I'm just, like, so overwhelmed by that thought.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a magazine to post your pictures.
Right.
You get to post them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm my own magazine, you know? Like, I'm just a digital catalog of my own work. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like...
Am I allowed to curse on your channel?
No, yeah.
I'm like...
Well, even, 5 or 6 years ago, that may have not been an option.
No way.
Because we can take our origin story and think about before that was... Like, I don't even, like, when we were doing the, like, 2009 versus 2019, I did not look different. Like, it wasn't that long ago. Not really.
I look like a totally different person.
I had, like, no tattoos barely, but, like, that wasn't like super long ago for me. Well, you're a little younger than me.
Yeah.
And once you're, like, 22, it doesn't really change.
I mean, bitch, I'm 26.
Yeah, I'm 29.
Yeah, but, like, dude, I looked, like, totally different as a teenager.
Well,
I mean,
was
I'm just
19,
saying.
so I was like, I don't know.
You were basically an adult.
Yeah.
You're right. The 3 difference makes a difference back then.
Yeah, because you, like, don't really change too much. Once you get in the groove, you're like, oh, that's what I look like. I was out of high school for 2009 versus 2019.
Right, yeah.
That's different.
Yeah. I'm just like, bitch, no.
I invited you here today because I just think that is such an interesting phenomenon.
Yeah.
And even myself, I, like, become, like, kind of jaded to the process. And I have no right to, because I am, like, super excited for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, you know, I feel like we've worked... literally, we just found out our origin stories were exactly the same.
I know. How did we not know that?
I don't know. Because it's, like... I guess there's... In my opinion, I thought there wasn't much value to that, because I feel like... But when we all globalize on the same stage, we all sort of, like, follow the same beat, and I just assume we all went MySpace to Tumblr to Twitter to Instagram, and it's not necessarily true. And
no, there's a lot of people who just, like, one day are like, I want to be a YouTuber, and they turn on their camera and they just start doing it, like, that's what they want to do, which is cool, which is awesome, too, but, like, we've really started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah.
Like,
even,
straight
like,
up.
When I went to that YouTube class, they're like, when did you start your YouTube channel? I'm like, technically, like, 2011, but, like, I wasn't conscious.
Right.
It wasn't deliberate.
Right. Like,
nothing was, like, so sometimes I'm like, I didn't start till 2016, because I'm like,
that's when you start taking it, like, seriously.
I think the first time I ever edited a video was years after the scarification videos. I've also changed and become a lot more comfortable in front of the camera and a lot more focused in, like,
you're very focused.
Delivery.
You're very focused. No, you are. It's like, it's very admirable. Like, your delivery is amazing. I wish I had that.
You do. You are concise, and that's valuable.
Am I?
I believe so.
Thank you.
I watched your your earlobe healed, and you were like, you know, I woke up, it was fine. I went out, it's good. Do you need to know more?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't. As a viewer, I was like, I don't know. You're right.
I'm crying. That's the New Jersey in me. It's just like, here's the facts, and that's it.
My earlobe video was like, I woke up this morning. It was raining. I'm up now.
I'm crying.
I thought to myself, what next? It's like, shut up.
Okay, I gotcha.
You have one video where you're like, I don't usually vlog like this.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
I was like, would Morgan vlog? And you were like, no.
Nope.
I don't usually talk to you guys like this.
Yeah. 100%.
I love it because, you know, our channels are in the same sphere, but they're different.
Totally different.
And we are fundamentally different people.
Totally.
But I get overwhelmed that literally we have the opportunity to broadcast ourselves. Like, that's literally YouTube's motto.
Yeah, it really is. You're right. I never, I guess, like, sat down and put it into perspective that way, because it's just something I'm so used to doing.
Well, we're so used to saying channel, and we're so used to saying these things that we forget that, like, literally it's a channel. Like,
yeah.
You know, 7 years ago when I was begging to be on MTV because I was like, I have a story to tell. It was like, bitch.
This is it. Yeah, this is it. This is MTV now. Like, this is the truth.
Yeah, I literally have that opportunity, and sometimes I, like, I don't think about it as directly as it deserves.
Yeah. No, I don't either.
So, we'll, like, wrap this up, but I do want to ask you, like, where do you see the future? Because we went through MySpace, and we went through all these things, and I feel like YouTube is here to stay, but even we talked about, like, you know, I changed my editing because I wanted my content to be better.
Yeah.
And, like, so where do you see, like, yourself in the bigger picture?
I think about this, like, a lot. And honestly, like, the answer is I'm really not sure, because I love YouTube. I'm someone who, like, really focuses on doing something they, like, really, really, like, are excited about and enjoy. So for me, like, my personal place that I'm at right now is putting out less content, but content that I'm really excited about. you know? Like,
I think that's, like, what we basically talked about now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think in the beginning there was so much information that I needed to put out there, and now there's less, but I still, like, when I get excited, like, that's the content I want to put up. Like, I guess in the beginning I was really just, like, doing what other people wanted, so I think now I just want to do what I want, and I think that will really, I don't know, it'll help me because people want to see a genuine person doing something they genuinely like. You know what I'm saying?
It's
so
true.
I can't say, like, oh, I see myself doing, like, all these crazy, like, series and, like, blowing up or whatever, because realistically, like, it's not what I see right now, but I see myself doing stuff that I like.
And that's completely true. Like,
Yeah.
we were setting up the lighting, and you were as honest as you could be. You were like, my setup's simple.
Yeah,
and
my setup's very simple.
I don't think it needs to advance, because I
Right.
don't think that's true to form.
Right, exactly. Like, you are more focused and more, like, just a little more calculated and careful, and I'm more just kind of, like, whatever. But both of our channels, it just works for us. Like, we're different, but we're very much alike.
I think if I was to answer the same question, I would say that I was getting to a point, and I really needed to almost reset and refocus and,
Yep.
like, remember my origin.
Yes.
You know? No, but I really think that, like, I need to reset just to, like, refocus and, like, remember, like, what brought me to the internet and, like, where that drive came from, because it's always existed. Like,
Yeah.
with MySpace, it was just natural.
It was so natural. And it was so exciting,
Yeah.
you know?
And it wasn't because we were copying anybody or, like, looking up to anybody. It was a very natural thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tumblr, no followers, just, like, really natural. And I think, like, whatever the drive is that we obviously, like, blatantly have in common, I would love to, like, just hold on to that. And I think that it has the potential to, like, keep going.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely think it has the potential to keep going, for sure.
I love YouTube. I, like,
Yeah.
it's...
YouTube changed my life. Like,
YouTube changed my life.
Totally. Like, completely changed my life. I truly think that, like, even in the other aspects of my career, like with modeling and stuff, I don't think I would be nearly as successful if I didn't have, like, the community on YouTube. Like, that's where I really found myself, and it pushed me to want to do other things and be better at everything I wanted to do in life. YouTube changed my life.
I agree. And, like, when I was, like, whatever my drive to be on social and online ever was, and, like, just show my life and share, like, there's always been milestones in my life where I'm like, I give this so much attention, why? And, like, why do I give it, like, why do I sit down in front of my Tumblr every day for an hour and just, like, where does it come from?
Yeah.
It's been a relief to, like, understand where that comes from, because
Yeah.
all along I've been like, well, when am I gonna get a real job? And, like, when am I gonna do this? And it's like,
Right.
when am I gonna... And it's like,
Right.
it's been so obvious. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. It was literally, this was our path. I obviously did not see it coming.
No.
At all, but I'm so glad, because I always knew I wanted to do something that, like, I had creative control of. And it's just crazy how it, like, fell into our laps because of social media.
I could cry. Well,
Don't cry.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This was in my heart, and I don't even know how to categorize it. I will be posting it on Tuesday, but I just wanted to have Morgan on my channel because she has been a creator that I feel like has a lot of parallels with me, but also someone who I look up to. I follow you on all socials. Like, I
Same.
really do, like...
You're my sis.
I really do feel inspired by you. You've never left me on red. Like,
Never,
literally.
ever.
You literally have never. You're just like...
I would never.
But I also do feel inspired by your story, and it so closely, like, hits home, but
Yeah.
I also just wanted to share it because I do think it's unique.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so glad I was able to actually, like, learn more about you.
Yeah, was that fun? Because nobody talks about
Yeah, we don't talk about this stuff. We're usually just, you know, being goofy, shooting the shit, you know what I mean?
And we're already, like, we get it.
Yeah.
But we never, like, dove into it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do, like, a more lighthearted video on your channel.
Yes.
Which I'm super excited for.
Me too.
So check out Morgan's channel in the link, and you can follow us on social and hang out with us tonight. And
come to our slumber party.
So feel free to share your story in the comments down below. Did anything we say resonate with you guys? Like, I think I mean, I get really wrapped up in like nostalgia, and I love like hearing similarities in people's stories. So if anything we said along the way like hit home for you, definitely share it in the comments down below. Leave a like on this video. I care about this video, and I would love to see it get the attention it deserves, not a detention.
Dun dun dun.
And you can subscribe to us and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you so much for coming all the way to Philly.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.
Bye.